thousands of acres of land in the state to the Trump administration for the purposes of building mass detention camps. The original offer was around 1,400 acres, but now she's amending it to increase it even more. If you think this sounds like Germany in the 1930s, you're actually not far off. But who would do it and who's going to pay for it? ICE certainly doesn't have the funding. We can barely deport the people who are sitting in prisons convicted of actual felonies. There's no way that Trump can realistically and legally utilize the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to do it because we're not actually at war with people who are living in the United States. And we also know that utilizing the National Guard in order to work domestic affairs rather than what they're supposed to be doing isn't exactly a walk in the park. Considering Texas elections are coming up in 2026, this seems like a MAGA marketing ploy in order for the commissioner to be reelected, so good luck.
I've seen a lot of people confused about the fact that Native Americans are being picked up by ICE, and they're like, where are they even going to deport them to? Oklahoma? I need you to get like 2 steps ahead. Mass deportation is exactly how it started in 1930s Germany, until they conveniently realized that they had nowhere to actually deport these people to. So what did they do? They invested in building detention centers, which we now know as concentration camps. That's exactly what they did. There's a reason that Native Americans were brought up in the birthright citizenship argument. It was not a mistake that Native Americans were picked up. They are planning for it. They are also going to use the excuse that Mexico is turning away all of the deportees. That's another reason why they need to build more detention centers. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at Mexico. Other countries need to be fighting back as well. That's not the point of this. But they are going to use it as an excuse to give government contracts to private prison companies to build more detention centers. That is the plan. It is why private prison companies are investing so heavily in Congress people's campaign funds and why Congress people are investing so heavily in private prison systems stocks. AOC literally just commented on this. That is the plan. The plan is concentration camps. They are going to find loopholes in laws like the Patriot Act, which allow for people to be stripped of their due process if it's a national security concern, and they're going to find loopholes like the 13th Amendment that allows for slavery in prison, and they're going to use those loopholes to charge these people with crimes that have life sentences, no due process, and they are going to use them for slave labor. They are planning concentration camps. Please get ahead.
Trump admin questions Native Americans' birthright citizenship in court. And I read the article. This is not clickbait. This is very real. As some of you may or may not know, Trump is trying to attack birthright citizenship, specifically targeting immigrant families. And they're trying to get this through by referring back to a Civil Rights Act of 1866, using the quote, all persons born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power, excluding Indians not taxed. Yeah, that's the quote that they picked out. And here from the Trump administration, this quote is basically saying, hey, this law thinks that Native Americans aren't citizens. So children of undocumented people shouldn't be citizens either. That is the quote. That is what this quote is saying.
So now they're questioning Native American birthright citizenship while also trying to strip away the 14th Amendment in order to eliminate the illegal migrants, which we all know that will extend to also Native Americans and then most likely African Americans as well. Since Native Americans are loyal to their tribe and they have their own treaties and everything, they would need to denounce their allegiance to their tribe, which is honestly a horrible thing. And this is not to be mean when I say this, this is more just with history. Native Americans should have stopped white people when they started putting their names on the Native American list. Now, while many people act like they don't know, there were many dark-skinned Native Americans. There were many Native Americans that were reclassified as Negro. And as they stripped away their right to be Native American, they then forced their names onto the Native American list. White people. That's why you see so many super white Native Americans with 1% Native. And many of them don't even have Native American blood. They're just lying about it. Because their family's been on the list the whole time and they have been receiving benefits. And this is why you have to draw a line. And when you see one group of people getting treated bad, you need to stop it at the door. Because once they're done with them, they are coming for you.
All right, and that one people is the nation of Israel. All right, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, but anyway, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honor unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000 men. Name of this one is, why is Trump targeting blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? Why is he targeting blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? You know, and setting up detention centers or concentration camps to put them in, all right? Well, the short answer is he wants to get rid of us Israelites, all right? And best believe Trump, that devil, you know, Orange Jesus, aka Orange Jesus, you know, he's in with these small hatters, all right? You see he's coming out with a lot of these anti to the sem, to the ethic, right? These small hatters, legislation. Basically, that's what he's coming with. You know who he's targeting. You heard these devils, say, one of them said, us blacks across here, are the biggest enemies. Who do you think they're talking about? They're talking about us, the Israelites, who've been pushing this word and letting you know that that blacks, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the children of Israel. We are the ones who, according to prophecy, put out the 12-tribe chart, a 12-tribe chart showing Judah all the way down to Issachar, with the Native Americans, the Gad, the so-called North American Indians, and Reuben, the Seminole Indians, etc. Even Cuba, the Cubans, so-called Cubans, which is the tribe of Manasseh, all right? And all these other tribes, the Issacharites, the so-called Mexicans, who all come into America to seek a so-called better life, to seek what the American dream. And the American dream is now being crashed by Trump, the Edomite. All right, and that's Nero reborn. If you believe in reincarnation, whether you believe or not, that's Nero reborn. He's doing the same thing that Nero did back then. There's nothing new under the sun. And why is he doing all that? Because why? The Israelites, the elect of Israel, I should say, are waking up. And they're waking up. This word is going out. It's consuming these devils and they can't take it anymore. They have to act quickly. And this is why, I'm going to bring this precept, a usual precept that we bring out, but it's still applicable. This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, now this devil ain't talking about the spiritual demon Satan, it's talking about the so-called white man, right? Which Trump is working for the head of these so-called white man, the tribe of Amalek, beginning with the banking elites, the Rothschild, the Rockefeller, etc. All right? And he's a devil. All right? How we know is speaking about that. When we go into the word, let's go into the word devil. All right? I'll show you why. All right, let's get the word devil. Because that's what they are. That's what they are. They're devils. All right? Diabolos. Diabolos.
Strong's G1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
Right, it says, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. So who does that? It's Trump. He's the one who talking about the Native Americans. Hey, the Latinos and Native Americans been here before you devils. You devils came across here with Columbus, etc. Just Cristobal Colon, and subjugated the people when they, and slaughtered Gad and Reuben and the other tribes, the Northern Kingdom tribes. Well, that's what you did. You didn't come here. You came here as a, I can't call you a fucking immigrant. You're with fucking devils, man. This devil Columbus, I think, boasted that he never put down his sword. That's what you did. When you oppress, rape, pillage, and destroy, and then on top of that, you're slandering the people too, saying that they're coming up in your country. Right? These motherfuckers gonna pay. This is let's continue here. It says a calumniator, false accuser, slanderer, metaphor applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Heavenly Father, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. That's right. That's what that's it. It's a man, right? Because I'm gonna show you a precept here. I'm gonna prove it again. This is Revelation. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." Now, can a spiritual demon put you in prison? No. But a man can. And I'm sure this word devil here, used here is the same word, diabolos, which refers to what? A man. Alright? Let's see this. So, behold, the devil. Okay, here it is. See it right here? Diabolos. Alright, that's a man. Alright? And when it's talking about sending into prison, guess what it's speaking about? It's speaking about these detention centers that this devil Trump is setting up. Alright? Okay? Remember the devil's punch bowl? Alright, this is exactly that he's coming with. They're talking about 1930 Germany. Alright? Well, that's well and good. You know, talking about those issues and things. But we are the true people. We are the true Israelites. Alright? You know, and in the devil's punch bowl, they destroyed many of our people. Alright? Which was basically a so-called detention center, a concentration camp. Let's go there. Let's get the devil's punch bowl. Alright, let's go here. Devil's punch bowl. No, thank you. Let's go here. What happened at the devil's punch bowl? All right. Natchez, Mississippi. All right. Devil's Punch Bowl was a concentration camp created in Natchez, Mississippi during the American Civil War to the freed slaves. So the freed slaves, basically they put them in that pit, a natural pit. Right? Where they starved us out and destroyed us. And this is exactly what this devil is coming back to do again. All right, it says, in order to house the large numbers of formerly enslaved African Americans, so-called African American, the tribe of Judah, the Union Army created a death camp, right, for them at a location known as the Devil's Punch Bowl, a natural pit surrounded by bluffs. Many of the formerly enslaved were there died of starvation, small to the pox, and other diseases. It has been suggested by some that over 20,000 formerly enslaved people died there in 1 year. In 1 year. All right, in 1 year. All right. They say remains still wash up. It says, however, the scale of the tragedy has been disputed by multiple historians, where history professor Jim Wiggins arguing the 20,000 estimate is baseless bullshit. And inflate. That's a lie. I don't believe that. All right. So that's what happened there, and it's the same thing happening all over again. All right. And it says it talk about the peach trees that grew over the graves, it grow heavy with uneaten fruit, because they know what's buried there. All right. They know what's buried there. This is Devil's Punch Bowl, 1956, by Tiona Tate. In the foothills of Mississippi, the trees grew heavy with uneaten peaches. Tales have haunted the grounds of the Devil's Punch Bowl for decades. From pirates to planes crashing, while the lands may not be filled with treasure, they are haunted by the history of genocide, terror, and a past filled with hatred for black Americans that cannot be ignored. And why do they have this hatred? Why did the so-called white man have the hatred for the so-called blacks? All right, because they're Esau Edom. All right, and it's prophesied that they would have this hatred. Okay, The book of Amos, chapter 1, all right, verse 11. It says, Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, Edom being the Edomite, the so-called white men, the wicked, the devil, the Bible speaks of. All right, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So he had that wrath and that hatred for Jacob, Esau, Jacob's brother. All right, that's what's happened. Okay, Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou have not hated blood. Even blood shall pursue thee. So Esau had that hatred for Jacob. All right, and he pursued him with the sword from way back then. Since they came into the land, they took the land by force, according to Micah 2 and verse 2. They covet lands and take them by violence, and that's how they got the land of the Americas. Now they're trying to push out Gad and Reuben, who've been here for thousands of years. All right, and not too long after they were thrown out, they were removed by Yabashim Yahushai and the Assyrians out of the land of Israel in 722 BC. All right, and not too long after that, they came across to the Americas. Now, where do we get our account? How do you know that's them? You can go to the Apocrypha. All right, the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, and verse 40. It says what? Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea, which is Hosea, the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, right, after the captivity, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. And that further country is the country of Aseret, which is what? America. All right? America. The Americas. Okay? North, Central, and South. Okay, verse 42 says that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. The Lord was with his people, with the 10 tribes to come across here, to these lands, in the Americas. Right, the Caribbean, South America, Central America, North America. All right. It says, verse 45, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely 1.5 years, and the same region is called Aseret, which is the land where no man dwelt. That's what it means. All right. And when you go back into 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, from around the 6th verse, it goes and tells you that King Solomon had a navy with Hiram, and they would come across to this land where no man dwelt. And the journey would take, 3 years, 1.5 years to go, and 1.5 years to come. So that's how the Israelites knew about these lands, where King Solomon would have gotten precious stones, gold, peacocks, which is turkeys, wood, etc. All right, that's how they knew. Proving that these people, these so-called Latinos and Native Americans, they are the children of Israel. All right. It says, verse 46, then dwelt they there until the latter time, or until today, these days, right? We in the latter time, right? And now, when they shall begin to come, and who shall begin to come? The southern kingdom, the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all right? Which Judah is predominantly the American Negroes, right? The Benjamin is predominantly the West Indians, and Levi are the Haitians, all right? Which are all represented in Babylon right now. A lot of them, a lot of Jake from Benjamin and Levi live in the Americas, which they're now being persecuted by Trump. All right. So the whole nation was persecuted together. That's why the scripture goes into is it Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 33. It says what? Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Where were they oppressed together? Well, here you go, in the land of what? Asaret. Right? The land of Asaret, which is what? America, or also known as Babylon the Great. Right? And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Right? They refused to let them go. So what they're going to do? Trump is setting up concentration camps, detention centers, where you're going to hold these jakes from Mexico, the Zacharites. I believe the Colombians were also turning back the planes, which the Colombians are the tribe of what? Asher. All right? You know, according to prophecy. Okay? Tribe of Asher. So, you see what's going on here. They refuse to let them go. So in other words, they're putting you into captivity again. All over again. You know, through the wicked laws. Right? The Patriot Act, the 13th Amendment, which pretty much say once you're caught against the law, you're incarcerated, you're a slave. Right? The Civil Rights Act of 1866. You know, say Native Americans are not citizens. You know, they've always done that. They don't care about these treaties. They don't care about Native treaties. Esau broke all the treaties. All right? According to scripture, this is and according to history, Psalm 55, verse 20, it says what? He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. Right? This is when the so-called white man came across here, the 10 tribes, Native Americans, for the most part, the so-called Native Americans, they greeted them peacefully, right, giving them food, etc. And you know, they turn around and slaughter the people. All right, they committed genocide. All right, this is what these Edomites did. This is and they're looking to do it all over again. All right, that's why Trump I believe years ago they would have purchased some guillotines. I believe that when he first came into power the first time, you know, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So this is what they're gonna do in them concentration camps, especially when they bring out that MOTB, all right, that RFID microchip. Right, they're gonna hold it to ransom, and if you don't take it, it's off with your head. All right. Psalm 55 and verse 21. It says, "The words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." And these jakes foolishly believe the devil. All right, they believe the devil. The so-called Cubans, all right, she's the tribe of Manasseh, were hooping and hollering, you know, thinking everything is everything, that it's all good. All right, and this devil and Trump, you know, and he messed them up. He messed them up. Pretty much, that's what he did. Well, let me see if I could find something. Let's bear with me a moment here.
Trump is not the video of Cubans voting for Trump is not aging well. I don't know if you've seen that one where they all have the "Make America Great Again" and they're all going, "Hey, Donald Trump, hey, Presidente, Donald Trump, para mi corazón, Donald Trump, número uno, presidente."
You know, basically, Jake is just destroyed for lack of knowledge. I'm going to probably do something on that later on, Lord willing. All right, but Jake destroyed for lack of knowledge. All right. Where they're voting this devil into power. Yeah, he's putting together laws and executive orders, you know, according to Isaiah, the 10th chapter, to put you, Jake, away. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." And why they do this? Why they set up these unfair laws? To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, right? The right of lands, because these lands will belong to Israel, right? The 10 tribes, okay, for almost 3,000 years, okay. They are devils. They took it by what? By violence, and he talking shit. It just show you, hey, these Edomites, they got it coming. It says to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And that's exactly what Esau Edom did. He's the real immigrants, on illegal immigrants. He's the real illegal immigrant. All right. He's the one who came and took these lands by violence. This is Micah 2:1, 2:2. It says, and they covered fields and take them by violence. Right. They find out a way to seize it. And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, and it goes hand in hand. But here it is, they're stealing, they stole the land, they stole our heritage, and now they're trying, in order to keep it a secret, you're coming to try to wipe out our people. That the Lord ain't going to stand by. The Lord is going to raise up his elect. The Lord is raising up his elect. All right, he's not standing by with you devils. All right, you feel you're going to get through? You know? So you, Jake, you better understand who you are. Understand who you are. Understand who your enemy is. All right. This is let's go back to Revelation 2 and verse 10 and finish this off. So that's why Trump is targeting you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right? Because they know who you are. All right. You don't know who you are, but those devils, they know who you are. Right? You know, and as for all you Northern Kingdom Jakes who feel it better than us Negroes. Right? This is Revelation 2 and verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Right? You're going to go into the concentration camps, the detention centers. Right? That you may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, a particular period of time. Completion. Right? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right? Yahweh Shai is life. He is the resurrection and the life. All right? But these devils, what they're doing is that they're backing you into a corner. They're backing you in a corner to come with to bring the destruction. All right? You know, to bring their real device, the technological device, that RFID microchip that they want to bring so badly. It says Luke chapter 19 and verse 40, and he answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, in fact, let me read a little lower down. Luke 19 and 41, it says, and when he was come near, he beheld the city, this is Yahweh Shai, and wept over it. You know, the city of Jerusalem. Jerusalem represents a people before a place. All right? It says, saying, if thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace. But now they are hid from thine eyes. All right? You're talking about Jake have no understanding. The scriptures say in Hosea 4 and 6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They don't know who the enemy is. You know, certain scriptures should come to mind. Sirach 12 and 10, Psalm 83. All right? It says, for the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee. Now, if you don't know who your enemies are, you're not even going to know when they cast any trench about you, because they think these Edomites like them. They think some of these Northern Kingdom Jake, they think that they're white, they're so-called white. All right? For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemy shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. You don't know the time of your visitation. All right? Let's get the book of Job, chapter 16, verse 11. It says, the heavenly Father had delivered me to the ungodly, and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. According to Malachi 1 and 4, the wicked is who? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Verse 12 says, I was at ease, but he had broken me asunder. He had also taken me by the neck, and shaken me to pieces, and set me up for what? His mark. And that's what he's doing to Jake right now. I was at ease, but he had broken me asunder. Right? They were at ease. Jake was living it up, working 2-3 jobs, sending money back home to help out the families. In Venezuela, in Mexico, in Cuba, you name it. All right, now these devils coming down with great wrath. All right, they're baring their teeth. All right, he had also taken me by the neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. They're setting up Jake to take that mark. A lot of Jake in that concentration camp is going to take it. All right, and they're going to have full control of you, of all of you. All right, this is what happened, man. And this is really to get what the elect. They're setting this thing up to get to the elect. That's who they really want. The Lord once chosen, for salvation. All right, but they're going to fail, And no matter they kill some of us, many of us are going to survive to the end to see the Lord come in his glory. And those who pass away, the Lord is going to bring us back at his coming. Yahweh Shai is going to bring us back at his coming. This is 2 Ezra 16, verse 16. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols." What's that? The main thing is the RFID microchip. All right? "And they that consent unto them shall be trodden in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." So they're hunting immigrants for now. Eventually they're going hunting for us Israelites, also know the truth. All right, this is what they're setting up. They're setting up the play. Israelites to play games, setting up the play to catch who they really want to catch eventually, which is us. All right, okay. So in every place, that's why they have the ICE, the police, detaining these so-called immigrants. All right. It says they shall be like madmen sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. All right, so there's a trial coming. That's how the Lord is going to choose his elect. Those who endure the hardship that's coming, even unto death. Even unto death. All right? That's how the Lord does his thing. Okay, Isaiah 48, verse 10 says, "Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction." The Lord has chosen us in the furnace of affliction. All right? And another fact, another way that you can know that these Latinos and Native Americans and so-called blacks, are the Israelites, are the curses over them. All right, there are many curses. You can go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter, and you can read 16 verse, 19 verse, the 33rd verse, the 37th verse, 45 onwards, and they can know that, hey, these are the children of Israel. They have all the markers, the bywords, the proverbs, spics, wetbacks, all these different bywords. That proves who we are. Right? These curses prove who we are as a people. So Trump is targeting us, for a reason. He's targeting the Hispanic, the Haitians as well too. Eventually he's going to reach the Negroes. All right, so that's why he's setting these things up. That's why he's setting it up according to what prophecy. All right, so let them come with it. Let them come with their bullshit. All right, let them come with their bullshit. We know we soon out here. Pray this lesson was edifying. When I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honor unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom, Wa Bad Babal.